Well, I think what we have achieved today, the plane has just landed in Amsterdam. What we've been able to do is prove that biofuel can work at 30,000 feet, that it can work in a normal jet engine without having to actually completely build new planes, new engines. And as a result, we now believe we can develop new biofuels for the future, most likely biofuels made from algae that can look after the whole of Virgin Atlantic's fleet and Virgin America's fleet, but hopefully airlines globally as well. So it is an historic day because most people up until about a year ago said it would be impossible for a biofuel plane to be able to fly at 30,000 feet without the fuel freezing, and that's been overcome today.
But if it's overcome today, is there a possibility, though, that on another flight it could very well at 30,000 feet freeze? And what do you do then?
I couldn't hear you very well, but the point, obviously, look, no fuel is going to be used unless it's gone through extensive Civil Aviation Authority testing and being approved by the authorities. Today was an experiment that has worked. We have used biofuel on the ground in normal jet engines, more than 40% per engine, and it works extremely well. So over the next 2 or 3 years, we'll be testing different kinds of fuels. Today we use babasu nuts from the rainforest and prove that can work. So it will actually encourage people not to actually cut down the rainforest if the rainforest can generate wealth in other areas. But in the future, I think realistically it'll be algae that will be made from things like sewage plants. And we'll be able to capture the carbon that would otherwise have gone up into the atmosphere and damaged the atmosphere and turn it into the jet fuel of the future. That's now what we'll be working very hard on over the next 2 or 3 years.
So the next 2 or 3 years testing, there's no passengers on board, of course, at this point. When would you expect to see the time was ready to board people for these sorts of flights?
My guess is that it'll be somewhere between 3 years. Well, 3 years I would say we'll be flying planes with passengers on. 6 years from now, hopefully, the whole of the Virgin fleet globally will be flying on a bulk of clean fuel. And hopefully soon after that, there will be many other airlines following suit. 100% of all the profits that we make from our dirty businesses, from our airline businesses and our train businesses, we're investing in developing clean fuels. Not just for planes, but for cars, for buses, for lorries, we're looking at trying to improve on wind power, improve on solar power. With global warming, I'm afraid, happening so quickly, we've all got to use all our technical prowess and all of our best minds into trying to come up with technological breakthroughs like we've seen today. And today actually is an historic day, I think, where people will look back on it in 10, 20 years' time and remember today as being the big breakthrough, the big start of this new revolution.
So, Richard, do you think you're going to inspire other airlines to follow suit?
I hope so. I mean, the airline industry is one of the perpetuators of global warming. We contribute about 2% of the carbon output. We need to reduce that. But also not just airlines. We want the coal industry to be working hard about sequestrating their carbon and putting it back down into the Earth's atmosphere. The coal industry with the new coal-fired power stations are doing irreparable damage to the Earth. So every industry needs to challenge themselves to try to come up with innovative solutions to the big problem that the world now faces.